Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Show me your cross. Show me your cross. So the nun gets right up the windshield and says, you get off that windshield right now.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular saying and take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, if we're super lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm Skinny. And I'm impressed. Multiple
Skinny.
Weeks in a row. You've got it. You've got it nailed.
Multiple or is it two?
Well,
That's still
it's multiple.
That's still multiple.
Sure.
It's a multiple of ones.
We'll still work with it. I love it.
That's a comment, if you're listening for the first time, on the fact that I regularly stumble on that intro.
Yeah,
Why
it's nice
we don't
to
just
not
have it re-recorded.
It's nice to not have it botched.
Thanks.
So fantastic.
I have practiced it to its death to make sure that I can get it correctly.
And sometimes it just keeps going from worse to worse. That really cracks me up. And then I say that intro is.
You never let me start over though.
Oh no!
We just make sure it
just keeps dragging on
until this is
You're dead as a doornail, Smalls. You're dead as a doornail, Smalls.
little something from the Sandlot. Dead.As.A.Doornail. That's today's. Have you heard that one before?
Dead.As.A.Doornail. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
It's an interesting one.
Well, it's kind of jovial.
You think?
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of segue into. So, Dead.As.A.Doornail. It's got like some light to it.
Keep going.
It's like this thing is dead as a doornail. It's not just like it's dead as a doornail. See, you can't even hear it without. There's something to it. So the part I find interesting.
So it's less morbid than alternatives. Is that what you're saying?
So yes, and less morbid than alternatives is my segue into in certain communities, particularly Christian communities, where we don't use many swears,
right?
If any.
We'll say fiddlesticks instead.
Yes, fiddlesticks, exactly, from last week.
Right.
And so it cracks me up. It's like it's I don't know, it's just got a light airness to it.
Dead as a doornail.
Fudge.
Dead as
and shoot, fudge. What other ones?
Gosh darn it.
Darn it. There you go. And it came across when in thinking in that
Hocus pick.
It's the hocus pick maneuver. We use substitutes to cover words that are
worse.
Much worse.
Right.
And when I was going through, I came across a fantastic story that I thought would be helpful to. It's close. It's not quite red on the nose, but it should help. It's about a priest and a nun.
Have we ever covered on the nose?
I feel like it was an earlier one.
All right. I'm going to look it up.
Maybe not. Anyways. Okay, priest and a nun.
Priest and a nun.
They're going out doing some golf as they do. You know how the priests and the nuns go out golfing. So they're going out for a round of golf. And
does this end with a punchline, a hole in none?
No, but
okay.
It's arguably better.
Okay.
We'll just keep that in mind for the end.
All right.
And so they're going out. The priest, he's having a hard time. He swings and just gets this clump of dirt in with the swing, and it's like fudge.
Right.
And the nun is like, Father, like, what are you doing? Like, you got to clean up your language. And this is already cleaned up kind of Christian language. It's like, apologizes. Sorry, sister. I just got a little carried away there. They continue on with the game. Next hole, big swing, big clump of dirt. Fudge! He's just getting worked up. Fudge, fudge, fudge! And she says, Father, you cannot be using these words. You know, what's gotten into? He's like, I don't know. I just get so fired up about this. She's like, I'm concerned that if you keep talking like this, you're going to get struck dead. Like, you need to clean it up. Work themselves through. Next hole, same thing. Takes a big swing at it. Big clump of dirt. So angry. Fudge!
Can you come off the microphone?
Fudge, 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 fudge. Just then, storm clouds start to brew. And they're like, oh, it's actually happening. Lightning bolt comes down, strikes the nun dead.
What?
And here's this big voice from heaven. Oh, fudge.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
And that's the
story of how the nun became dead as a doornail.
Dead as a doornail.
Especially, I mean, doornails would be metal and you get struck by lightning. It's worse.
It's gotta be.
I have a funny...
Sorry for screaming in your ear, Village Idiom children.
Yeah, I know. I was looking back at the peaks on the meter there.
So you put a compressor. I get carried away when I say fudge.
I'm gonna see your joke and raise you one joke.
All right, let's hear it.
There was a priest and a nun. They're driving in a car, and they had to pass through Transylvania.
Okay,
so they're driving through Transylvania, and of course, as you would expect, thump, a vampire lands on the windshield.
Crazy,
and it's just at the glass, like fangs baring, like scratching at the glass, and they're freaking out. They're yelling. They're like screaming their head off. And the nun's like, I don't know what to do. And the priest says, well, show him your cross. Show him your cross. So the nun gets right up the windshield and says, you get off that windshield right now.
Show him your cross.
Show him that your cross.
Oh, I love it. See, okay, a priest and a nun. No. No, see, we can get back into it. It's a jovial expression because it's like it means something serious.
Dead as a doornail, but
you wouldn't use it at like
a funeral.
I'm sorry about your loved one. They're dead as a doornail. Like, see, you can't even hear it. Like, can you imagine the doctor approaching a family after an incident?
Next time somebody in my life close to me passes, I know you'll be compassionate. You'll show care, and I'm gonna go, yeah. They're dead as a doornail.
Dead as a doornail.
Just to see if we can lighten the mood. We'll put it to practice.
Yeah, that should go real far.
So the phrase dead as a doornail is often used to describe something. I love this description. This is what I found. The phrase dead as a doornail is often used to describe something completely inactive, completely dead, or no longer functioning. It like really emphasizes, which is odd because if you're dead, you're dead. You can't be any more dead.
Dead as a doornail.
But if you're dead as a doornail, it's like
you're really dead.
Just so you know, they're super, super dead. Speaking of being very dead, did we talk about on here? This is the kind of stupid philosophy kind of stuff that I come up with in my head that drives me mental.
Keeps you up at night?
Yeah. Is if like, do we talk about roadkill? Like seeing a raccoon at the side of the road?
Well, and we have in dressing it.
And
last time we talked about it. About people who pick up roadkill and then they keep children's clothes in the back of their trunk and dress up roadkill.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one?
I don't know. No. What I was going to talk about is if you see, let's use a raccoon on the side of the road. It's dead on the side of the road. That raccoon is dead, right? There is a dead carcass of a raccoon. Fast forward and whatever amount of time it takes for that raccoon to disintegrate to nothing, and it is no longer visible, is not even there. There's not a remnant in that spot. Is there still a dead raccoon? Or does dead only apply to a body?
If those maggots move over 20 feet and then they all simultaneously barf up, did the dead raccoon move?
Well, that's a good question. Does it have to be recognizable to be something dead?
Yeah, it's a philosophical thing. Theseus's ship. A Theseus's ship. Yeah.
Right.
That's what we're talking about using a dead raccoon.
Right, which is
way more interesting.
Except the ship can be reassembled.
Yes.
And so there's two ships. Not so much with a dead raccoon.
That's if they all went over and regurgitated.
Life versus death. I think death can only be applied to a physical, tangible item that once had life.
Oh, a concept can be alive. Like a dream.
Right, a dream can die.
A dream can die.
But
trust me, dreams die.
So there's an instance where...
Hey, dreams die.
They have. But you never die in your dreams.
Wow.
But so that dream is dead and always will be.
Right. But if it happened in your dreams, it'd still be okay.
If your dream died in your dream, it wouldn't actually die.
That would be a good place to kill your dreams. Is in your dreams.
Because it can't be killed.
Because it can't be killed.
And therefore your dream lives on.
Okay. If you kill an undead thing in a dream, What is it?
If you kill an undead thing, can you kill something undead?
This is the riddle. But it's in your dream.
Well, is a zombie the undead?
Let's call a zombie the undead.
So you can kill it. But I would argue
it's-
it wasn't dead.
So, but when in your dream,
The person
it's still not dead.
is dead.
My point was that
Reanimated.
inside your dream, you
still
couldn't
can't
kill
kill
it.
You still can't kill the undead in your dream.
It's like layers of undead. Which brings me to our next game.
Yeah. Oh, we got a game.
Yeah, I snuck in a little quick one because
Let's make this one full contact.
It's a game called Dead.As.A.Doornail.
How appropriate.
Okay, tell me in this list who is alive and who is dead.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And some of these might be tricky. Okay. Tina Turner.
Dead. Oh, wait, there's a whole list.
Well, there's a list.
Oh, and I got to pick one that is or isn't dead.
No, we'll do them one by one. Tina Turner.
Okay. She's dead.
She is dead.
Yeah.
She's as a doornail.
She's dead as a doornail.
Yeah, she's gone. Jerry Springer.
Ah, that's a good question. I'm going to go with dead again.
Fantastic. Also dead.
Okay, as a doornail.
Dead as a doornail. Okay, well, then these will start to become easier. Paul Rubin. Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman. He is also dead.
He died. He died really recently. Yeah. July 30th. Okay. Lisa Marie Presley.
She is not dead.
She's dead.
Oh, yeah, she died right after.
He's dead.
Oh, shoot. I should have thought about that for 2 seconds because I saw her give a speech about the new Elvis movie. And later that day, I found out she died.
No.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, that's weird. Like, when's the last time
That
I
is
looked
weird.
up Lisa Marie Presley and then later find out she died that day?
I don't know if I purposefully ever looked her up. That's good.
Well, I looked her up because I wanted to see what she thought about this new Elvis movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so she gave a big speech at
Does she like
Graceland. Yeah, she's a big fan.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
thought they did a good job. Anyway.
Okay.
I should have got that one.
Got a couple more. Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor is dead as a doornail. Also recently.
She died July 26th this year. Really, really recent. You're on. Okay. Coolio.
Coolio's not dead. Is Coolio dead? Coolio can't be. Gangster Paradise? He can't be. His hair will keep on living.
He's dead.
Is Coolio dead?
Coolio's dead.
How did he die?
He died like a doornail. Like he's dead. Yeah, he's actually in Gangster's Paradise right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Today you'll be with me in Gangster's Paradise.
It's Jesus on the cross, and one of the other ones is Coolio. Today, we gotta draw a picture or just recaption it.
Today you'll
with
be
Coolio on the cross beside Jesus, the thieves on the cross.
How long ago did
Today
Coolio die?
you will be with me in Gangster's
Hey
Paradise.
Google, when did Coolio die? I'm curious now.
Coolio died on September 28, 2022.
Last year.
Yeah.
A year ago, almost exactly. Wow.
Okay. Last one. Bob Barker.
Bob Barker. By the way, Bob Barker has the same birthday as me. December 12th. Bob Barker is also dead as a doornail, but he lived to a ripe old age.
Yeah, he died on August 26th.
This year?
This year. He's 99.
Like a week ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I didn't know that. I got lucky then.
Oh, I was trying to throw you off. Everyone on the list was dead. Dead as a doornail.
Oh, man. Is that the whole list?
That's the list.
Because I'll get the next ones right if you just gave me that clue.
Yeah,
I got lucky with Bob Barker because
99 died August 26th, allegedly.
he only needed to get 4 more months. He got his $100.
He was a December 12 baby.
Yep.
Like another special person I know.
That's me.
The price is wrong, Bob.
I am not 99.
You got 99. He had 99 years and life wasn't one of them. I don't know.
99 years and the last one wasn't one of them.
Yeah. Today you'll be with me in Gangster's Paradise is so funny. That needs to be a meme somewhere. It might be. It actually might be because that's hilarious.
If Coolio is in Gangster's Paradise right now, where is Bob Barker? Plinko hell.
He's at the bottom
how
of a
many
Plinko
times
machine.
did they say?
He's at the bottom of a Plinko.
Finally, he heard these words: Bob Barker, come on down.
That's twisted. Poor Bob Barker. He's not in hell, is he?
I don't know. I don't know his walk with Jesus.
Playing Blinko with the devil.
Just if you're gonna use a,
That's a terrible way
Julio's
to
in
go.
Gangster's Paradise, Bob Barker was told to come on down. There's probably a funny answer for everyone on
So that concludes our game. Dead.As.A.Doornail.
Tina Turner or Burn. Tina Turner Burn.
Now I need new riddling. No. Okay, so that concludes my portion. We should probably find out where it really comes from.
Well, here's some example sentences because it doesn't have to describe a person. So here's an example. The coroner confirmed the
Is there
victim.
a song or anything?
The coroner. What do you mean?
Are we doing the origins of?
Not yet.
Okay.
Just sample sentences. The coroner confirmed the victim was dead as a doornail. Obviously, that's about a body. Here's another example. Sarah told her team that they should abandon the project because it was dead as a doornail. So that's not a person. That's not a living thing. That's just a thing. Like you said earlier, a dream could be dead. Last one I had, the client hasn't responded to our emails in a while. The deal is dead as a doornail. So, again, a dead dream or whatever. But this time I do have a game for you before we get to origin
my goodness.
to see if you can guess
Dead
where
as a
this
doornail.
came from. I'll keep
Dead
it
as a
short and
doornail.
simple. Maybe you know. But did dead as a doornail as an idiom come from, option 1, actual nails in a door? Or option 2, a locking mechanism now known as a deadbolt? Or number 3,
Ooh, that's good.
number 3, a hinged casket lid?
I really like number 2.
Actual nails in a door.
Well, I think it's
Locking-
actual nails on a door because
You're gonna go with
just
that?
because it's so on the nose, so to speak.
See, I don't know if we've used on the nose. We say it a lot.
On the nose. But a deadbolt? Wow. Or it's more likely that deadbolt came from Dead as a Doornail. Unbreakable entry.
Unbreakable entry.
I'm going to go with number 1.
Number 1?
No, number 1. The price is wrong,
From actual
Bob.
nails in a door?
Actual nails in a door.
Well, I guess we should find out.
Said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind.
Well, I will tell you this. The research that I dug into on this one was leaps and bounds more interesting than I expected. And
Okay.
so let's start with earliest quotes before we, reveal the answers and see whether you got it right. So this goes back to, well, one of the earliest quotes was Shakespeare, Henry IV. He says, I'm not even going to try a British accent.
Become death.
I have eat no meat these 5 days, yet come thou and thy 5 men, and if I do not leave you all as dead as a doornail, I pray God I may never eat grass more. Preceding our friend that's not our friend is William Shakespeare, writing King Henry. What's funny is I have it written down as King Henry IV, and I also have it written down as King Henry VI. What did he write? Did he write 2 plays? Anyway, predating him was William Langland, who also used this expression in 1362. Fay withouten fate is faibleur than not, and dead as a doornail. All spelt in Old English ways. That was hard to even read. So it goes back. The most famous quote, here, I'll give you one little clip of it, actually. The most famous quote is actually this.
Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. This
Marley from A Christmas Carol. That was the biggest reference that came up over and over. Here's the whole quote from A Christmas Carol, which of course is Charles Dickens. Dickens. He wrote it in 1843, but this is from the movie. Or no, this quote is from the book. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Mind, I don't mean to say that I know of my own knowledge what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I might have been inclined myself to regard a coffin nail as the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade. But the wisdom of our ancestors is in the simile, and my unhallowed hands shall not disturb it, or the country's done for. You will therefore permit me to repeat emphatically that Marley was as dead as a doornail.
That's great.
Isn't that a great quote? So that's why
It's the coffin one, isn't it? Then
that's why this one
that's gonna make me sad.
is popular because it re-emphasizes Dead.A.S.A.Doornail. I'm avoiding answering your question. Can you tell? I haven't revealed.
I know
So
you haven't
here's
said
what
it
I'm gonna
yet,
do.
but
Here-
you just said coffin,
He did, yeah.
and so now I'm thinking I
As the
botched it.
deadest. How did he word it? It's great. As the deadest piece of ironmongery.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Sometimes English words are so great. So I'm going to give you some of the theories of where this come from, and you'll figure out what the most believable answer is.
Okay.
One is that the knocker on ancient doors would strike the head of a doornail in question, and but so much so that if this were any living thing, it would be dead for how many times it's hit upon with wrought iron.
It's like that water torture thing.
Dead.As.A.Doornail is the nail that the wrought iron knocker is pounding upon for its entire life. You are dead as that doornail, for it has been struck upon its noggin
That's
so many times.
That's great imagery.
right?
Yeah.
So the Oxford English Dictionary that talks about this also says there's really no evidence of this being the origin story, but it's a fun theory. Another suggestion is that nails in and of themselves are inanimate. That is, they're dead, right? So try and think of something that is just less lively.
It's like dead as drywall, dead as paint.
Yeah,
It's
like as dumb as a sack of hammers, like as dead as nails, as dead as doornails. So the one thing to
So I was with my brother-in-law. We were at a chalet going skiing,
yeah.
and in order to get through, there was a gate pass kind of card that had to be put through this swiper, but it's like Sub-Zero-y type
The
conditions.
way you were moving your hand, I thought you were going to say there was like a gate pass secret knock.
No, it was like swiping a card through a card reader.
Yeah.
And the management person there came out because he was struggling. It's like, oh, sometimes, this thing, kind of gets a little, freezes up because it's so cold. It's like, well, why did you pick a system that can freeze up when you're in a ski
Seriously.
chalet? But anyways, let's move along. And then he says, I'm with my brother-in-law, Rob, and the gatekeeper person says, let's see if I'm smarter than the gate. And he swipes it, because I guess he's got the trick for how he warms it and swipes it through, and the gate doesn't open. So Rob goes, nope, not smarter than a gate. Like, yeah, so he said that right to the guy's face. So dumber than a sack of hammers,
and not smarter than a
not
gate.
smarter than a gate. Yeah.
So, still another theory, and the answer to your game is that the expression refers to the clinching or clenching, depending on what book you're reading, which is the practice of securing a nail by hammering it through the wood all the way through. So a doornail goes all the way through the door, and then it is bent twice and bent back towards the door like a staple on the other side.
Oh, interesting.
And so back
What?
in the early days of nails, just slightly past using wooden pegs when iron nails, they were often reused. Like nails were a prized possession because of their value. And so in fact there's records of buildings and homes being burnt down at the end of their life just to retrieve all the nails. But a doornail was not reusable because it had been weakened in 2 points, and just the amount of force, the amount of bending,
That's
that it was
crazy.
said to be those were dead nails. When you would find all the nails, the doornails were said to be dead because they couldn't be reused.
That it's crazy. I could see being bent in one direction. But
In fact,
bending in both would mean you're kind of like it's just that would be weird because you'd be like using pressure on it, which would also be the reverse to knock the main nail head out.
so I watched the how-to
Okay.
on how to dead nail a door, and so the spike goes all the way through. It's sticking out, say, an inch or inch and a half on the other side. Then they clamp it right at the wood and bend the top part only, so it's got just
90 degree.
just not quite.
Okay.
And then they
Kind of like hinged in, like.
so nail is through the door.
Yep.
And then say the door is down here.
Yep.
They
I'm
will
following
bend. I'm showing it on the video. They'll bend this part
Yep.
and then hammer it over so that
Interesting.
that goes into the door.
cool.
locking it
I
into the wood
understand.
from both sides.
That's crazy.
So a staple on one side, hammer or a head of a nail on the other side, and it was actually that technique is called dead nailing.
Oh, so it is.
So yeah, they would that's
Nails in a door.
Yeah, and if you look, obviously this predates screws. Most hardware in a door today would be screws, not nails. And if you look at some of those, medieval doors, there's both the function of needing the door nails on there, but there's also a lot of decor, like iron
Wrought
moldings,
iron.
that go up and around, and just like hundreds and hundreds of doornails on these things, just like almost look like patterned studs on a lot of these doors. So yeah, it was called dead nailing because you couldn't get it out.
That's a cool
So
piece of info.
Another reason for that was nobody on the outside could pull nails out. Mm-hmm. Like it was next to impossible to break down the function.
If I was
of
at
the
a
door.
water cooler today,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Hey, how was your weekend?" They're like, "Oh, I didn't do much." I'd be like, "Oh, hey, do you know what a dead nail is?" That would be my go-to.
That'd be today.
That'd be my go-to conversation piece.
Yeah. So I thought it was more interesting. I didn't know it was a technique called dead nailing.
I actually couldn't envision what you were talking about because
Did my finger help?
Yes, I was bending what you would the second, as you call the second bend.
Right.
I was doing that first.
Right.
So I'm like, and then like, and how do you do that part?
Yeah. So they clamp it here.
Makes complete
In
sense.
the video I used, they had modern tools where they took two
that
wrenches.
makes complete sense the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
I was doing it backwards. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I feel smarter.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
because
saying.
when I came in today, I was like, man, I'm dumber than
A gate.
a sack of hammers. And now, boom.
Now you're smarter than a gate.
Wow. Fantastic.
Just throw this out there. Here, listen to this. Sure.
She's sweet, but deaf as a doornail.
That's Better Call Saul. Often you'll find deaf as a doornail. And so while doornails would technically be deaf, most
A lot of things would be.
most wordsmiths think that this was said in kind of as a mistake at first. Like the saying is dead as a doornail. And just because it sounds the same, it became its own idiom by default, deaf as a doornail. You could also say deaf as a sack of hammers.
Deaf as a gate.
Deaf as a gate.
Let's see if I'm less hearing impaired than a gate.
Nope.
You're deaf as a gate.
That's great.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
we're covered a lot of territory today.
Right, yeah,
We should
it's
get
good
into
stuff.
this riddlinks.
You want to?
Yeah.
Well, Riddlink is a game we like to play. It takes a two-part trivia-based question, but it requires a two-part overlapping answer, overlapping by sound, syllable, word, or word. So, for example, last week, a mere week ago, when we covered the idiom, the calm before the storm, we left you with this little Riddlink. Peace ahead of a cyclone is Lucas's white-suited soldiers. Peace ahead of a cyclone is Lucas's white-suited soldiers. You got this one?
I'm going to go with calm before the stormtrooper.
That's it. That's exactly right. It's not calm before the storm.
It's not a stormtrooper.
Stormtroopers. The correct answer, if you wanted to play riddling properly, is calm before the stormtroopers.
I like it.
That's how you play.
Well, I got 3 prepared.
3. Look
Yeah.
at you go. Well, let's see. How does this work then? You go first, and you end with one for everybody else.
Well, I'll go first and second.
And I end with everybody else? What if yours is really good? We should leave for them.
Okay. Ike's wife is an 80s fire and brimstone saying.
That would be Tina Turner Burn.
Perfect.
No, it would be...
It was a Tina Turner bird.
Oh, it was? I got it? Oh, okay,
I
great.
just whipped it up real quick.
Okay, then you
Okay,
go first.
so we'll get into the real ones.
What did you say though? Is an 80s what?
Ike's wife
Yeah.
is an 80s fire and brimstone saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Turner burn.
I just wanted to say Turner Burn because I said it earlier.
I
but
know, and I just like that's actually amazing. So
it's still true to reality riddling. So
it works.
Well done.
Here we go. Apocalyptic zombie TV is deceased like a screw.
Say it again.
Apocalyptic zombie TV is deceased like a screw.
That would be The Walking Dead as a doornail.
Yes.
All right, let me give you one. You ready?
Yep.
1978 zombie movie that re-emphasizes just how deceased one is. A 1978 zombie movie that
Wow.
re-emphasizes just how deceased one is.
I'm going to go Dawn of the Living Dead as a Doornail.
Pretty close. Dawn of the Dead.
Okay.
Dawn of the Dead as a Doornail.
Dawn of the Dead as a Doornail. That's great. I was like, I'm struggling. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay, here we go. Riddlink number 2, possibly 3. Pee Wee Herman, like corned beef Swiss cheese sauerkraut with Thousand Island dressing. Pee Wee Herman, like corned beef Swiss cheese sauerkraut with Thousand Island dressing.
Am I just adding the word sandwich? Paul Rubin sandwich?
It's a Paul Rubin sandwich.
Okay. Perfect. I got one more, but I'm going to leave this one unanswered so that Village-Idiom children can play along at home. Get the home version.
We would love to hear from you on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone. If we haven't heard from you in a long time, give us a shout out. Let us know you're still alive out there.
And not dead as a doornail.
Perfect.
As deceased as an entrance spike. Did you catch that? As deceased as an entrance spike. Where manicures happen.
Oh, okay.
One more time. As deceased as an entrance spike where manicures happen. I believe in miracles.
And that is 3 minutes gone. Well, it's fun putting today's episode together. Hopefully there's a little something for you to chew on and talk about at the water cooler today.
The old water cooler.
The old water cooler. I'm Skinny.
I'm Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Last 3 minutes gone.